We have an unfortunate update for you from Western North Carolina. Red Cross has decided that there is no more need in this area and they're shutting down their shelters. They've shut down 3 so far that I'm aware of, Marion, Old Fort, Clyde, and we have spent the last 24 hours with ourselves and working in conjunction with other organizations trying to find placements for these people that have nowhere to go. They lost their homes in the storm, or they, don't have a place to go because the place they were renting is gone or their apartment complex is gone. I mean, there's a reason that we had shelters out here, guys. This isn't a problem that got fixed in 4 weeks. I don't understand why people think that this is over and they can just shut down and pull out. You can't rebuild a house in 4 weeks. You can't provide housing for thousands of people in 4 weeks. It just doesn't happen. We have these campers and these tiny homes that we're passing out as quickly as we can and as much as we can with the funding that we have, but we're also running into problems with permits for the county, which, why are we worried about permits right now? Like, you're letting them sleep in a tent on their property. Why are you going to fight me on dropping off a tiny home? I just can't imagine or fathom what these people must be feeling when their house was washed away. They have nothing but the clothes on their back, which they probably had to go get from a supply warehouse. And then you're coming up to them and not even giving notice and just saying, hey, our shelter's going to be closing today or tomorrow. Figure it out. Oh, and if you don't, we're going to take your child from you? DSS is out here threatening to take people's children away from them because they are homeless. And while I understand that to a degree, I also feel like we need to be extending some grace to these people and helping them find housing rather than making their situation more stressful by threatening to take away their children. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed. We all are. There's so much to do out here, and there's not enough hands and there's not enough money in the world to make it all happen here. So we're just going to help as many people as we can for as long as we can. Don't be like these larger organizations and think that everything's fine here, because it's not, and we need help. We need help.
DSS is threatening to take away children from parents in Western North Carolina because they're homeless. Red Cross, the one that people donated millions of dollars to, has decided there's no longer a need for them in Western North Carolina and has started closing down their shelter with almost zero notice. So far, they've closed down 3, Old Fort, Marion, and Clyde, leaving hundreds without shelter, and by the time they close all their shelters, thousands. Basically telling them to figure it out themselves, and then having DSS come in and say, well, if you can't figure it out, I'm going to take your kid because you're homeless. You've got to be freaking kidding me. You have got to be freaking kidding me. I can tell you for a fact, Old Fort, 80% of their population is now homeless. You have people over here trying to donate campers and tiny homes, but the county wants to fight people about having permits to put tiny homes down. You'll let them have a tent on their property, but you won't let them have a tiny home without going through all the legal necessities. Again, are you kidding me? I can only imagine what the people in Western North Carolina are feeling like to lose every single thing that they own, including some of their family members, just to be treated like they're the scum on the bottom of somebody's shoe. Y'all so worried about this person and that person doing the wrong thing, but you ain't seeing what's right freaking in front of you.
Okay, guys, we got some new alleged reports coming out of North Carolina and Tennessee. And since the mainstream news is not covering this, we definitely have to go with alleged reports. This is all alleged, but this is new news and it's extremely important, so pay attention. Not only do we have the complete devastation in the homeless issue, people are without homes, they are without power, but now they are getting sick. Apparently, there is a nuclear fuel station about an hour and a half outside of Asheville. Now, originally, they had said that there were training barrels that had got washed away into the river, into the water. However, they are now allegedly stating that these were not training barrels. And it was actually a semi full of nuclear fuel that got buried 10 to 20 feet under the mud. So they have verified that this truck is in the water, in the mud, with all of these barrels of fuel. Now, that is not to say that is what is making people sick. However, it could definitely be contributing to it. You've got sewers that have ruptured. You've got just dead animals, dead bodies, and everything is contaminated. So allegedly, there is about 60 people up on the mountain right now that are sick with something that they just don't know what they're sick with. A man that brought 10 cadaver dogs to the Carolinas now has 4 dead dogs and 6 actively dying. The horses that were brought out of the river, they were also very sick. And so they started doing blood work on these animals and finding out that they have all kinds of stuff in their blood. They are very sick. So not only are we dealing with complete devastation, now we are dealing with contamination that is making the animals and the people sick, allegedly. So I needed to get this out to you. We need to spread this far and wide. Stay out of the mud. If you can stay out of the mud, stay out of the mud. Stay away from the water. It is contaminated. Yeah, I guess that's it for now, guys. And as I progress with this story, I will update you guys. Stay safe. Godspeed. Talk to you soon.